Christine Persichetti. A controversial execution took place in Alabama Thursday night. Kenneth Smith was put to death using nitrogen gas. It's the first time that form of capital punishment has ever been used in the United States. Smith was convicted of the murder of Elizabeth Sennett, a preacher's wife. Isabel Rosales tells us about his last moments from Atmore, Alabama.
This is the first new method of execution since 1982. That was when lethal injection was first introduced and used here in the U.S. We're told by media observers who were there witnessing the execution that Kenneth Smith's last words were among, quote, "Tonight Alabama causes humanity to take a step backwards." There was a press conference following that execution where witnesses described Smith as being conscious for several minutes. 2 minutes he was shaking on the gurney and against his mask that was pumping nitrogen gas. And then it was followed by several minutes of deep breaths before his breath then slowed down. The Alabama Department of Corrections Commissioner John Hamm, he was asked about that shaking, especially since the state had argued in court documents that he would be unconscious within seconds via this method of execution, nitrogen gas. And what he said was, quote, "nothing out of the ordinary for what they expected from a nitrogen hypoxia execution." Now, we did speak with Reverend Jeff Hood, who was a spiritual advisor for Smith. We were the first to speak with him after he left the execution chamber, and he described it as absolute torture. Listen.
That was torture. That was absolute torture. And torture is evil. I thought that was something that, as a country, that we held. That it's wrong to torture people. It's wrong to experiment on people. But that's what I saw.
We also spoke with Mike and Chuck Sennett, the sons of Elizabeth Sennett. They say that they have been waiting 35 years for justice, that Elizabeth, their mother, was a simple preacher's wife raised in the country. And here's what else they said.
They're talking about Smith and what's happening to him. No, bro, everybody's forgot about the woman in Colbert County. That's what she's known as right now. Her name's Elizabeth Sennett. He killed her. He's got to pay that price for what he done to our mother.
That was Isabel Rosales reporting. Alabama is one of 3 states, alongside Oklahoma and Mississippi, approved to use nitrogen gas as a form of execution. The Catholic Church is against any form of the death penalty, and starting in 2018, Pope Francis declared capital punishment inadmissible under all circumstances. It was a change to Catholic catechism, which said the Church didn't exclude the death penalty if it defended human lives against an unjust aggressor. But the Holy Father instead started to advocate for an end to capital punishment. It is a call echoed by the Catholic Mobilizing Network, who Thursday night on Twitter released a statement in response to Kenneth Smith's execution, saying, quote, "Our prayers and actions should be working toward embracing justice solutions that aren't rooted in revenge. The pursuit of death in the name of justice must end." You can help them in that goal. The Catholic Mobilizing Network started a petition urging President Biden to bring an end to the death penalty. To sign it, just go to catholicsmobilizing.org and click on the Take Action page. And you can read more about this controversial execution on the Tablet's website, thetablet.org. This week's Tablet talks about life from womb to tomb. The pro-life paper had extensive coverage of the March for Life in D.C., but it also tackles all the pro-life issues, including abortion, capital punishment, and euthanasia. Just be sure to pick up the Tablet at your local church this weekend to read all about it. An update now on the National Eucharistic Revival. Organizers want you to join them in prayer. Catholics from all around the country are being asked to join a team of spiritual advocates in interceding on behalf of the nationwide campaign. Organizers say you can, of course, pray for the revival during your personal prayers, but they're also giving you the opportunity to join an online prayer group, which gathers virtually every month. If you're interested in becoming a prayer partner, or you just want to learn more about the revival, just go to eucharisticrevival.org. Prayer is what powered one North Carolina man as he covered miles of Eucharistic adoration. On Friday, Jimmy Coleman went for a run, a long one, 50 miles, stopping at 5 Catholic parishes in Charlotte, North Carolina, to spend time in Eucharistic adoration. He underwent what he calls the Adoration Ultra to demonstrate his devotion to the body of Christ and, like the Revival campaign, inspire others to take a core tenet of our Catholic faith, that the bread and wine really become the body and blood of Christ, more seriously. To learn more about Jimmy's run and maybe even take it on yourself, just visit his website, adorationultra.com. And finally tonight, one woman has made it her life mission to protect God's creatures.
Isn't he beautiful?
Anita Spritzer says she's been saving animals like these for as long as she can remember, starting when she was just 5 years old. She rescued her first kitten in a New York City laundromat. Now Anita runs Paws for the Cause in Kentucky to help animals in need. It rescues hundreds of animals every year and finds them forever homes. It's a calling, she says, comes from God.
Everybody has a special purpose in life, and what is my purpose and what am I good at? And I'm good at animals and placing animals with people. I just feel that it's a gift that God gave me, and I'm very blessed to have it. I'm going to do this until I take my last breath, no matter what.
Paws for the Cause is doing so well, they've actually expanded their kennel, but they say they need help purchasing new stainless steel vet crates. To help Anita out, just go to pause4thecause.com. The donation link is right there on the front page. And that is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time. She rings what she calls the bells to heaven. But that's not all Nancy Cardinelli does for the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph.
She's a constant presence for us and with us, and a blessing, really, an absolute blessing.
How Nancy Cardinelli makes up the pulse of the parish, Wednesday on Currents News.